And Muslogy once again comes through with something very useful. Oh, look at that, you even get the name of the company on the little carabiner clips they give you. This is your cargo net organizer for your truck bed. If you've had your Maverick for any length of time, you know that you have put stuff in the back of your truck and it's small, let's say, it's slid around, or next time you open the tailgate it was all the way up in the front and you had to crawl in there to get it if you have a tonneau cover like I do. It's got nice shock cords to hold it. There's even some clips here so you can kind of clip on the shock cord to hold the opening of the net tighter together. It's nice webbing all through it. It's got some stretch to it. It's got this nice, more solid bottom, so even smaller items you put in there won't just fall through and roll out in the truck, which if it was all netting, that would be a problem. So you can kind of use that to help contain things as well. This will go across the bed of your truck. It even has this nice tab to help pull on it. I'd imagine that would go probably towards the back of the truck. And depending on, you know, how you use your truck, what you carry in it. I know I've always get stuff in the bed of my truck, usually lashed in with straps and things, but this I expect will actually be very useful because they do have some smaller things, and now they kind of slide and flop and clunk around. This will hold them securely, so let's show that how to put it in your truck. I'm sure there's different ways we'll do it. Maybe you can do it front to back, along one side of the truck if you want, or across the bed, and we'll show how that all goes. But I'm going to use carabiners, like so. Got 4 of them. And this will allow you to be sure that the items you put right inside the tailgate will be right inside the tailgate when you get there. Net. There's a pull tab in case you need that. Plastic clips at both ends to kind of control how it spreads between the 2 bungee cords. This right here gives you an idea of, it's even got a cloth bottom so that, like, smaller things you throw in there, and a can of paint. I don't want that rolling around the bed and spilling everywhere. Put that can of paint in there. The worst it's going to do is go bump, 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 bump side to side, but it's not coming out. And then I also got this hose for my, I guess that's for a faucet. And obviously that's just going to go right through the net. But because of that fabric bottom, I can lay that in there. And I have a pretty good expectation that when I arrive, it's still going to be there because this will contain it. And not only that, like, I got these cargo rails, as I was saying, because when I ordered it, Ford actually sweetened the pot for those who were willing to take the risk of ordering a bed liner. So they threw in these sliding cleats and rails for free. I know there is a DIY way to do it that they show you if you scan the barcode on your cover, but I would have done that if these hadn't come for free. I think this was like a $500 bed liner, might have been $500, but these rails are like almost $300 by themselves. And see, even if you don't have the top, the bottom hooked in, you can still have the top, and you could use this actually to almost like a way to control things. You need to anchor it at the bottom. I'd have to take the bed mat out and use those lower anchors, but I could put this up against the front. And like if I had it like this, everything in it, you can swing back and forth, but it's not going to come out. It's not going to be all over the bed. If I had that like that, and then that down here, That's a nice stretch. You can actually even kind of make different shapes with the net because of the fact that it's stretchy, and that gives you options on, well, maybe odd shaped things like balls or something like that, because now you have this space here that's contained. Put your tailgate up, and you now have not only this pocket, but you have this pocket. So another way maybe to do groceries or, you know, store things like that using these side anchors, and it's stretchy enough you can actually bring that up a little bit, make this pocket bigger, and now you have a larger area to hold stuff. You know, if you're driving around with the tailgate down, I wouldn't consider this an actual tailgate replacement, but let's say you have a sheet of plywood in your bed or lumber sticking out, you can't shut the tailgate, you have some items in there you don't want going anywhere, definitely strap them down. But this might actually, you know, some places there's laws about having a tailgate in, and they can fine you for not, and instead of having to buy a separate net, this could fill in for that, for those trips home from Home Depot with a sheet of plywood or something like that, or Lowe's or whatever. A lot of options, a lot of things you can do with it. Very useful. So a little while ago, Muslogy sent me the bed cargo net to try out, and I've been running it for a while, but I haven't had a real good way to demonstrate it until now. We're going, my wife and I are going away for the weekend, and when we go away we like to have boats and bikes and go visit someplace beautiful, and we need some gear for bike riding and kayaking in this case. And in getting all this loaded up, I realized this is a perfect demonstration of why this net is so nice, because when you're in a truck bed, I have a massive collection of life jackets, and almost all of them I picked up for free by the side of the road, because I take groups of kids paddling, and you need to have life jackets of every size and shape and whatever to be able to take as many kids as possible of any shape and size and height and age and all that. These are ones that my wife and I have actually bought, and I really don't want them blowing out on the road. So here I've actually got this little bit of kayak gear, anchor, folding anchor kit in case we need it, her life jacket, my life jacket, and both of our helmets. Now normally with the bed without any sort of a tonneau cover or a cap on it, because to fit the bikes over the tailgate I really can't have either of those on. They would be rolling around the bed, getting wet, potentially blowing out and losing them on the highway and having to replace them, and neither one of these is a cheap life jacket. They're both over $100. But with this net, everything is contained. You won't be blowing around, you won't be blowing out. By even clipping them into the webbing of the net, they not only stay nice and neat and organized, but they're not as likely to just let somebody have a 5-finger discount, and I'll be short something that's necessary when I get there and have to go find a store and buy one, which is really nice to not have to worry about. So here you go, it's the Muslogy. There's their tag. Cargo net. This is for the Maverick. Clips right in with the cargo handling system. Also has these carabiners on the bottom, which if I cared about, I could clip in to the tie downs there on the bottom of the bed, but I know this isn't going to flop around. Those are just nice because let's say you hook it up in the back here where you have upper tie down, lower tie down, as long as you didn't get the XL Maverick, or you added them if you did get the XL. You could even use this as a way to contain stuff if you didn't have a tailgate, let's say, or you had to have the tailgate down for a longer object, which with a 4.5 foot bed is really nice to be able to contain stuff with. But there you go. Muslogy cargo net. Fits the Maverick, most other small trucks. And once again, an excellent product from Muslogy. And of course, what kind of reviewer would I be if I didn't show you the other configurations that I've mentioned? So here it is, clipped in, running along the side of the bed. Same equipment, same stuff contained within it. Clipped into the cargo anchor up here in the front, and the bed tie down on the bottom of the bed as well. And once again, you know, I could drive like this for hours. I'm not concerned about anything blowing out. This, you know, I could even clip things together a little more in the middle here if I thought they needed to be tighter, but I know these life jackets are clipped in to the cargo thing itself, and they're not going anywhere. And this is one other nice little feature Muslogy put on here. They gave you this little tab. So let's say your hands are full, and sometimes getting these two bungee cords to separate could be sort of a chore if the net is tight, stretched out, and doesn't have something in it to pull them apart. So if you can find that little tab and just give it a tug, you can get it open and be able to drop your stuff in it. But you know, the Maverick, because of the wheel wells, doesn't have a very, you know, there's this bump here that kind of pushes stuff out into the middle, which is why I think across the bed's better there, side to side. But this is another option, and depending on what you're putting in here, it might actually work better, because this is 4.5 feet, and I think that's not quite the same dimension. It's a little bit shorter going across, especially down between the wheel wells. And then one more advantage, I can literally just lift it right out of the truck. All I got to do is unclip the carabiners, and let's say I'm in a neighborhood, maybe I'm not sure, stuff isn't going to still walk away if I leave it overnight in the open bed of a truck. Unclip it, carry it in my hotel room or wherever I'm staying, and it's all contained. I could even use this on the kayak to keep my gear more contained and together, and not worry about stuff floating away if the boat turns over or the wind comes up or the waves get big. Or anytime you go out on the water, you got to keep everything secured. Even if it floats, it'll still get away from you if the wind and waves get a little rough and crazy, or the water is rough or whatever. So yeah, just another advantage in Muslogy cargo net.